All right, I want to take you now to Ann Arbor and a program that is helping entrepreneurs, gig workers, and people who are self-employed actually have a guaranteed income for 2 years. This program is called Guaranteed Income to Grow Ann Arbor, or GIG A2. We're going to see how this all works. Joining me now is Kristen Seefeld. She's an associate professor at the University of Michigan School of Social Work. Kristen, thanks so much for joining me. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, why don't you go ahead and explain for us how this program or the idea of it came to be? And I know you're going to be starting to collect applications in October.
Yeah, so guaranteed income is not a new type of program. And currently in the US, there are about 100 different pilot programs operating. The idea is to provide folks with a steady, dependable payment every month that they can use however they see fit. So a lot of our social safety net programs have restrictions on how they can be used, like food stamps for food. Guaranteed income really allows an individual or a household to make the best financial decisions for them. So the city of Ann Arbor decided to use some of its Federal Recovery Act dollars to launch a guaranteed income pilot. And yes, we are going to start taking applications on October 2nd.
And so what will this monthly guaranteed income be? And this will be for 2 years, correct?
For 2 years, yeah. So we're working with a third-party payment organization called Steady. They've worked with numerous guaranteed income pilots around the country. And basically Steady will work with each participant to set them up so that every month they have basically a debit card that will get reloaded with the $528 every month.
So who can qualify for this, Kristen?
Yeah, so first qualification, you have to be an Ann Arbor resident living within the city limits of Ann Arbor, 18 years old and up. And then have an income that's at or below 225% of the federal poverty line, which roughly translates into about $56,000 a year for a family of three. We are also then focusing our efforts on entrepreneurs in the absolute broadest sense of the word. So this could be someone who does have a small business that they're working at and would like to see it grow or stabilize. It can be someone who is doing work like picking up groceries for Instacart or other gig work, or it could be someone that occasionally engages in informal labor, like mows the lawn for cash or does hair or babysitting. Things that they do intermittently. So it's a broad definition, so hopefully a lot of folks will qualify.
Explain the changes that you can see even in Ann Arbor in a community when you have people who are working in various industries or jobs or trying to grow something, when they do have something steady and something that they know that they can count on in being able to then give back into the community or grow within it.
Yeah. So, one thing, that lots of folks know about Ann Arbor is the cost of living here is very high. Housing in particular, with very high housing costs. So what we're hoping, to see is that a stable payment that is reliable, might be able to help folks just not have to worry about things like rent or, how they're going to pay for groceries or pay their utility bill. And so that some of that mental energy and stress that we often see folks experiencing when they're facing these challenges might, get redirected toward, other activities like meeting the goals that they set for themselves, which for some folks, could be growing their business. For other folks, we think, that maybe the $528 a month will allow them to maybe pull back from some of the activities that they're engaging in to make extra money. And again, free up their time and resources to focus on what's really important to them.
I know through the 2-year process, though, whoever is going to be chosen, and these applicants will be chosen at random as long as they meet the initial threshold, you are going to be asking questions, though, and just kind of monitoring. What do you hope to get out of studying a program like this?
Yeah, so we want to track how the payments affect things like experiences of various hardships. Like I mentioned, housing instability, which can manifest in different forms, like inability to pay rent or facing eviction. Does this payment help reduce the experience of that? Does it reduce experiences of various mental health problems? So we'll be tracking that as well. Does it improve physical health? Are people able to, like take the time to go to the doctor? Are they able to afford their medications? And then we'll also, of course, be asking a series of questions about like, potential effects on businesses. Are people using the money, for any business purposes? Does it affect their bottom line, or does it again allow them to pursue other activities and maybe use the money for other purposes?
So, can you give us an overall cost of the program, and then would it be something that you'll just have to see result-wise if it will be re-upped then in 2 years?
Yes, so the total project funding currently is $1.6 million. The majority of that goes toward making the monthly payments for 24 months. Um, you know, we, One of the challenges definitely is that with it being federal Recovery Act dollars, funds that were appropriated to aid in the recovery from COVID, there's a hard stop at the end of 2026 on those funds. But we're seeing across the country that there's a lot of interest from various foundations and philanthropy in pursuing guaranteed income programs. So, and there's also an active movement, to do a lot of advocacy work around guaranteed income programs, so that perhaps some public money can be allocated to keep these pilots running.
All right, last question for you, Kristen. How can people apply?
So applications will go live on our website on October 2nd. The website is www.giga and number 2.org. The website is live right now, just not the application, and we have a lot of information there, including answers to frequently asked questions, such as um, you know what will I need to apply, what kind of documentation, things like that. So if an Ann Arbor resident is interested in applying, they can visit the website and kind of be prepared, so that when the application opens, they can go ahead and submit one.
All right, we'll be watching. Kristen Seefeld, the Associate Professor at the University of Michigan School of Social Work. Thanks so much for being with us today.